Hey guys, how you going? Hey guys, you worried about the effects of 5G radiation? Well, let me introduce you to the affiliate of this video. They're called EMF Harmonized, and they filter out the harmful RF waves that actually damage our DNA. Kids are also more susceptible to the RF waves than adults are. And what they do is EMFs clump together red blood cells and cause lots of problems. This technology prevents that. And as you can see, they have products for your phone, your tablet and your computer, as well as your body. You can actually buy these for your body. So if you'd like to help a fellow truther and help me out as well, please check out the affiliate link down below. They also actually have a video showing you the red blood cells, how they clump together with 5G radiation, and how this technology protects you from that. Okay guys, if you're interested, check out the affiliate link below. Thanks guys. Hey guys, before I start, I would like to thank Caroline Hardwick. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm funny with when I get PayPals, sometimes with the donations, if they're above $50, I kind of think, did someone accidentally put an extra zero in there? Yeah, so instead of 50, like it was supposed to be 5. Yeah, that's just me. I don't know why I do that, but sometimes, yes, I do think that. And then I just think, just accept it, okay? Oh dear, I don't know why I do that. It's just something quite interesting that happens to me when I receive. I'd like to thank all my PayPals, all my Patreons, and everybody just watching as well, because I do appreciate every single one of you. And I would never like anyone to donate if they can't afford to. So please, I do understand if you can't. There's a lot of us in the same situation. I do appreciate what I do get, and thank you so much, guys. Okay, let's get into this. From Anthony, because look at what's trending in Australia. RIP Rupert Murdoch, right? Now, it started with the Chaser team, which is an ABC or SBS. They were ABC, which is our deep state, pretty much, broadcasting association, or whatever you want to call it. So they're trying to get RIP Rupert Murdoch, because Sky News, Rupert Murdoch and Sky News Australia, and they're a bit like Fox News. So at the moment we are having, it looks like they are warring between each other, like the ABC, the general news, and Rupert Murdoch. It's funny how they put trending when it's only got 3,630 tweets. I suppose that's in Australia, but surely there's things other than that that are trending in Australia, but they won't tell you. Okay, we've got a lot to get through. Because of this, Anthony at Ice Cream Tony wrote, "You all got my hopes up at RIP Rupert Murdoch." And there's a gift to go with that. I thought that was good. Okay, from Brian J, from at BJC, says, "If we don't destroy the deep state will destroy us. This is reality." And you can see where we're heading. The deep state want the mandatory vaccinations, the Great Reset, which will have a basic universal income, and where no one will be rich except for them. Pretty much Agenda 21. So we don't want that. It's just a trap. Like, it's pretty much a communistic run world. Okay, Donald J. Trump says big rally Saturday night in Georgia. And it's funny because Saturday night in the US will be our Sunday, which is when we are standing up here. So with that many people around the world standing at the same time, that should be interesting, for the Schumann resonance especially. At Amuse, and it's at Amuse, President Trump's legal team will be at the Supreme Court in 7 minutes. Take a moment to pray for them, the president and our nation. That was 1 hour ago, so that would have already happened. Pray for them, and pray for the men and women behind the scenes who are working to try and free us from this system we're in. Yeah, because I heard that in Germany, when they took down the sickle, I think it's called the sickle servers, a couple of the good guys were actually killed. So I believe. You can let me know in the comments if you know more about that. This one from George Papadopoulos. Breaking: John Durham recommends a prison sentence for indicted ex-special counsel and FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith. So things are happening. John Durham is behind the scenes doing stuff, along with Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell and a lot of other people. So that's what I mean. The good guys behind the scenes, we need to pray for all of them right now, or meditate and send good vibes out, whatever you do. Now, this is a big thread, and it's very, very interesting. It's 111% I am sovereign, innate, Benjara at Benjamin A. Bok. Okay. Propel. Remember when President Trump wrote Propel? Well, Propel CEO, Propel Dig, breaking developing news. This was on November the 21st, so you may have already seen this. I'm not sure. If you have, please be patient with me. Thank you. Connections to Smartmatic global financial incentives and election fraud in the Philippines, considering the implication on the 2020 US presidential election thread. Context. Initiated the dig. The COVID drugs now available to make Propel better are amazing but seldom talked about by the media. Mortality rate is 85% down. DJ tweets Propel. No, not the energy drink. Then again, watch the water. And then it was deleted. Due diligence. Enclosed is the Facebook URL to the same status published at the same day and time. The COVID drugs now available to make Propel better are amazing but seldom talked about by the media. Mortality rate is 85% down. There's that. Okay, this Propel. Propel Inc. is a business solutions provider with expertise and in-depth experience in the areas of finance and accounting, tax services, human resources, payroll, and data management services. Its a client portfolio includes multinational and established clients based in Asia Pacific region, Canada, and the United States. Propel provides value-adding, cost-efficient solutions and services, enabling its clients to achieve its business goals for more than a decade now. Propel provides value-driven services along 4 main business areas. 1. Finance and accounting services, custom-fit finance and accounting functions in the areas of accounts payable, accounts receivable, general accounting, strategic finance, among others. 2. Tax services, personal financial statements, tax return preparation, financial consulting. Propel Inc. has been working hand in hand with K&A Global Management Co., with offices in Kansas and California. 3. Human resource services, payroll and timekeeping, benefits management, statutory compliance, HR information systems, employee records administration, HR reporting and analysis. Number 4, data management services, data capture, conversion, cleanup, organisation, standardisation, data mining and analysis. Cleanup, you say? Data mining? Case Study 1, Multi-Process Finance and Accounting, the client, a global direct selling company. Case Study 2, Channels Management, the client, a global IT company. Case Study 3, Payroll Process, the client, a leading supermarket chain owned by a global industry leader. Notice the prevailing theme. What was the operative word found in the case studies above? Why is outsourcing such an important facet of a globalist agenda to dominate an otherwise free marketplace? How do global supply chains impact the sovereignty of national markets and GDP? How are the banks an enemy of we the people? Alfonso Tito Yuchenko, Propel Inc. Teztec Group, the youngest of the six from the first marriage of late tycoon Alfonso Yuchenko. Yuchenko is carving his own path in the fields of semiconductors and finance. His wife, Marit Meland, and he have 4 sons. A little background on Tito's father. Money and country. Back home, after a stint as envoy to Tokyo, banker Yuchenko is building a Philippine financial supermarket. By Antonio Lopez Manila, and there's an article in there. Lawyer Leonardo Seguion Reyna has a telling anecdote about how Alfonso Yuchenko does business. In the early 1970s, hotshot investment bank Bancom Development Corp wanted to merge Yuchenko's Rizal Commercial Banking Corp, RCBC, with Far East Bank to create the Philippines' largest domestic lender. Bancom's Sixto Roxas team up with Augusto Barcelon in a buyout bid. Wow, some of this is a mouthful, I'm sorry. Yuchenko made it appear that he did not have the money to purchase the 2 men's RCBC shares, recalls Seguin Ring. Oh, you know, there's this person here, Reyna, who is the RCBC director. So Roxas and Barcelon quoted their price, $7 million. They never knew what hit them when Yuchenko called their bluff. The tycoon had secretly lined up funding from long-standing bank associates in the US. Interesting. RCBC says it has only $165 million in foreign borrowings, 1% of the banking system's foreign loans of $16 billion. The money was lent to clients with a natural hedge, such as exporters. We were able to lessen our exposure to loan defaults, says RCBC Vice Chairman Alfonso Yuchenko III, the youngest of the founder's 8 children. AY III, or Tito, is founder and CEO of Propel Inc. At 26, AY started a Malaysian insurance with 250,000 pesos from his father Enrique, an ethnic Chinese property developer, or Enrique. It is now the largest non-life insurance operation in the Philippines. Great Pacific Life, Grappa Life, the country's 6th largest life insurer, was set up 5 years later. 2 family members have top jobs. Tito Yuchenko, 39, now 59, the heir apparent and youngest daughter, Yvonne, 43, who is Chief Executive Officer of the Malayan Insurance Group, article published in 2000. Malayan Insurance Co. Inc., MICO, in July of 2019 announced the appointment of Yvonne Yuchenko as the new Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors, with Paolo Abaya taking over her position as the company's President and Chief Executive Officer, CEO. So keep it all in the family. Expect more acquisitions. I see a lot of integration, the buyout of small firms by the big ones, and more joint ventures with multinationals, says Yvonne Yuchenko. So they don't even hide it. You will need foreign professional management and technology to survive in a global situation. Malayan Insurance is seeking what she calls strategic alliances. For its part, RCBC wants to tie up with a European specialist in wholesale banking and project finance. It already has a relationship with Japan's Sanwa Bank, which owns 25% of RCBC, and Bank of America, which has 39% of Yuchenko's subsidiary BA Savings Bank. However, House of Investments, subsidiary of the RCBC, is buying Bank of America's stake. The move is touted as part of the plan to build an integrated finance services group. House of Investments is an investment bank focused on buying controlling stake in large businesses, dealerships, EEI Corporation, iPeople Inc., the Malayan Education System Inc., Mapua University, the APEC schools, and National Teachers College. Oh my goodness. HI wholly owns Landev Corporation, which is primarily engaged in property facilities and project management for the YGC and provides comprehensive security services to leading installations through its subsidiary Greyhound Security and Investigation Agency Corp. HI portfolio investments are in HI Easy Pharmaceuticals Inc. I'm not sure if I said that right. A joint venture with that same company of Japan, Petro Energy Resources Corporation, Manila Memorial Park Cemetery Inc., La Funera Paz, I can't say that, guys, Inc., and RCBC Realty Corp, which owns the RCBC Plaza. In Indonesia, our partner was Bank Bali in Malaysia and Singapore, Zurich Insurance in Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking, HSBC, recounts Yuchenko. We had branches in Taiwan, London, the US, Australia and Papua New Guinea, also in China. RCBC owns 15% of each of Honda Cars Philippines and Isuzu Philippines, helping the Yuchenko's group motor insurance and car loan businesses. House of Investments has a stake in Manila Memorial Park Cemetery Inc., plus for the life insurance lines. Oh no, do you see how tangled this web is? Yuchenko, senior old guy in the middle of the photo, favoured only amending the laws to permit banks and insurers to sell each other's products. Cross-ownership, he worries, will encourage other groups to come in, besides some of his foreign partners are lukewarm. Tokyo Marine and Fire Insurance, for one, prefers to remain independent of the RCBC. Yuchenko's venture with Japan's largest non-life insurer, Tokyo Marine Malayan Insurance, services Japanese companies in the Philippines. The first alliance was with Tokyo Marine, one of Tokyo's top officials served in the Japanese army that occupied the Philippines during World War II. We became good friends, says Yuchenko. Wow, with over 20 global partnerships as of 2000, Zurich Insurance has retained its 30% share in Malayan Insurance. The relationship dates back to 1955. Japan's Nippon Life NL has a 50% stake in NL of the Philippines. Oh my goodness. And this is how it's all going. When this comes out worldwide, when all this corruption comes out, it's all going to look like this. They're all going to be related, and they're going to be in high positions, and then they're going to have little cronies underneath them, and it's just going to keep going from that. Singapore's Government Investment Corp, CIG, has 40% of the 31 million RCBC Plaza in the Makatai Business District, which will be completed in 2000. In late February, we suggested to the CIG people that maybe we should delay the project due to property slump, says Yuchenko. The latest venture is KG Investment Holdings, a partnership with Taiwan's Koo family, owner of the island's 10th largest financial institution, China Trust Commercial Bank, Boom. Oh, with this tie-up, RCBC seeks to acquire derivatives technology and gain access to project finance and direct investment opportunities, says Tito Yuchenko, who is unmarried as of 2000, since married. His father, that's one of the Caesar Veritas missions, to get my son a wife. Sorry guys, I'm having trouble pronouncing some of these names and words. There are no conspiracies, but there are no coincidences. Nice sash, bro. Top keck. There you go, Freemason. If we can offer other products, we will constantly improve our sources of long-term money, Verrata says. It's Verrata, sorry. Some of the funds can be funneled to House of Investments, which is heavily into infrastructure projects. Key subsidiary Engineering Equipment Inc. EEI is helping build or upgrade 40% of the country's power plants and 80% of its cement facilities. It's also involved in the rehabilitation and expansion projects of 3 oil companies. Oil companies, how interesting. Not only that, cement facilities. If you look up Cemex, is it? And go into some conspiracies on Cemex, you'll find a lot of information on why that's interesting. That's how they get rid of people. They mix it in, crush it up, mix it in. As of April 2020, EEI had a project backlog valued at $247.5 million. In addition, it has won contracts to build gas plants in Qatar and Dubai worth $236 million. EEI Inc. net income is valued at $1.16 billion in 2020. His ambassadorial stints to China, 1986 to 88, and Japan, 1995 to 98, are another form of SROI. President Joseph Ejercito Estrada asked AY to stay on as envoy to Tokyo. Yushchenko declined. He envisions an advisory role even as Tito prepares to take over. 2020. Propel Inc. Propel is an outsourced and offshore Philippine-based business solutions provider with current expertise and specific industry process experience in the areas of finance and accounting, human resources, payroll, IT and data management services. So with experience in the areas of finance and accounting, they can fiddle with things. And IT and data management, that's very interesting. Propel Company's international offices are located in the Philippines, USA and India. They operate as Propel Inc. out of the Philippines, K&A Global Management Company in California and in the states of Kansas and Missouri. K&A Global Management Company, KAGM, is associated with FANCSA CPA LLC, a national independent CPA firm. The two companies are separate and independent legal identities that work together to serve clients' business needs. See, can you see how the globalism's creeping in as they team up and buy each other out? And it appears as though K&A Global Management was acquired by Propel Inc. and FANCSA CPA was acquired by Avitus Group. KAGM and its accounting, tax and advisory companies were not licensed CPA firms. KAGM and FANCSA CPA LLC both offered tax consulting and advisory and non-attest accounting services. Propel is an outsourcing company in the Philippines. What is business process outsourcing? Business process outsourcing, BPO, is a method of subcontracting various business-related operations to third-party vendors. Is that why when we ring our companies here in Australia that we get transferred over to the Philippines or somewhere to talk to somebody else in another country? It happens nearly everything we ring in Australia, it goes through to somewhere else. Although BPO originally applied solely to manufacturing entities such as soft drink manufacturers that outsourced large segments of their supply chains, BPO now applies to the outsourcing of services as well, such as in HR and IT. Enter Smartmatic election fraud history. Smartmatic election fraud history in the Philippines. Manila, the Philippines, 17th of September 2018. The Philippine Commission on Elections has exercised its option to purchase a total of 97,350 vote counting machines from Smartmatic. The technology was used in the 2019 midterm national and local elections. Since the first automated national election in 2010, the Philippines has been spearheading election modernisation in the region, said Antonio Magisa, CEO of Smartmatic. We are proud to be part of this transformation. We are committed to continue strengthening our relationship with the Philippines to facilitate more efficient and transparent elections, Antonio added. Not working too well for you now, is it, buddy? Aside from the voting machines, Smartmatic delivered 93,826 headphones, 93,826 modems, and hardware for the election management system that supports the operation of the entire automated platform. What could possibly go wrong there? The delivery of the hardware was finished earlier this year, while the software will be delivered by the end of the year, as of the date of a Smartmatic press release in 2018. In 2008, Smartmatic began providing election technology to the Philippines. Since, it has provided election technology and services in 3 national elections to some 55 million voters, registering 3.1 billion votes. Election automation has a positive impact in the Philippines. After the national election held in 2016, Pulse Asia conducted a survey to gauge the opinion of Filipino voters, so says the press release. The overwhelming majority of Filipinos gave a positive verdict on the elections and the technology. 89% of respondents would like to see automated voting in future elections, Smartmatic PR. Again, it seems the people of the Philippines do not agree. So what the news and what these people do as PR is they say that a majority of people would like to see, no, they wouldn't. Turn it round. It's a minimum of respondents would like to see. It's probably the other 11% that want to see automated voting machines, and it's probably the 89% that don't. Want more evidence? Poll Watchdog opposes Cumlec Smartmatic deal. January 7th, 2015. Why would poll watchers oppose the Commission on Elections' choice to implement Smartmatic technology? Poll Watchdog calls 2013 elections a technology and political disaster. Published May the 18th, 2013. In 2013, the Cumlec Poll Watchdogs, I hope I'm saying Cumlec, Poll Watchdogs cited the highly suspicious intervention of Smartmatic technicians in fixing the program of the transparency server, which led to the deletion of some election return files. Poll Watchdog thumbs down PCOS machines for 2013 elections, published 7th of March 2012. Automated Election System Watch, AES Watch, even reiterated in a letter sent to the Cumlec an earlier finding that the machine's supplier should be penalised for the failure of its product to live up to expectations. We urge you to take heed recommendations issued by the Cumlec Advisory Council against the purchase of the Smartmatic PCOS machines, AES Watch said. Cumlec confirms Smartmatic changed service script, but only to fix an error, sure right. Cumlec Chief Andre Bautista and Senior Commissioner Christian Robert Lim faced the media to issue an explanation on the issue, along with Ellie Moreno, Project Director for technology provider Smartmatic. The correction involves a mere cosmetic change, Bautista said. It does not in any way change the results, the counting and the canvassing of the results, and the source code of the automated election system. Marcos campaign advisor Abacta Party List Rep Jonathan Dela Cruz told reporters in a chance interview they are making light of it. Ang Sinabasi, I can't say that. This is not a cosmetic change. This is something that needs to be looked at seriously. Dela Cruz further said that the change of the script in the transparency server was also in violation of the Republic Act 8436 or the Automated Elections Law under Article 28, Section 29 of RA 8436. Any such tampering is prohibited. And this was done already in the middle of a transmission of election returns. This is prohibited by law, Dela Cruz said. Article 28, Section 29 of RA 8436 prohibits utilising without authorisation, tampering with or damaging, destroying or stealing of official ballots, election returns and certificate of canvass of votes. Article 28, Section 29 of RA 8436 prohibits electronic devices or components, peripherals or supplies used in the automated elections such as counting machines, memory pack receiver and computer set. Ombudsman asked to probe Cumlec Smartmatic PCOS repair deal. In his request for assistance, affidavit lawyer Melclaw Magamo said the P268.8 million deal to extend the warranty of some 82,000 precinct count optical scan machines inked by the Comlec and Smartmatic could be illegal and unjust. The nature of the warranty itself raised his suspicion. Uncharacteristically advantageous provisions presented a significant potential for corruption and underlying financial incentives. It must be made free of charge and must not have negative repercussions for the insured. In his affidavit, signed along with other members of Citizens of Clean and Credible Elections, Magamo also highlighted other supposed irregularities in the Comlec Smartmatic deal. Smartmatic made proposals to refurbish the PCOS. Other companies with much better reputations can easily refurbish the PCOS at much lower prices, but Smartmatic insists that the warranty extensions prohibit the Comlec from engaging others, the affidavit said. Smartmatic was also able to avoid competitive bidding and monopolise poll automation, according to Magamo and his co-petitioners. In their affidavit and request for investigation, Magamo reminded the Ombudsman that as the original owners of the vote counting machines, the Comlec should not be tied to a warranty agreement that is not beneficial to the government. Smartmatic is merely a past reseller with present warranty obligation to repair or replace any equipment found to contain manufacturing defects, they said. Last week, the Supreme Court issued a temporary restraining order on the diagnostics, repair and refurbishment of the 82,000 PCOS machines as formalised in the contract between the Comlec and Smartmatic Total Information Management Corporation. The SC has temporarily put a stop on the Comlec Smartmatic repair deal following a petition alleging that the contract is in violation of the Republic Act 9184 or the Government Procurement Act. Earlier, a petition was filed with the SC seeking to declare as null and void both Comlec Resolution number 9922 and the signed contract between the poll body and Smartmatic, KBK GMA News. Supreme Court asked to stop the Smartmatic deal. In this article, Smartmatic Total Information Management Consortium was accused of misrepresenting info when the contract signed by Smartmatic International Holdings, BV, a subsidiary of the latter, Smartmatic Deployment Corp, and claiming Jaltech International Corp was its subsidiary. Petitioners said the firm violated its contract with Comlec when it failed to disclose that its supposed subsidiary, Jaltech, transferred the production of the precinct count optical machines from Kenmec Mechanical Engineering Co. to Quisda Corp. It's all connected. On November the 7th, 2018, Data Image and Quisda have reached an agreement to establish a strategic alliance. Quisda is looking for an outstanding enterprise partner to build a joint fleet and to expand the high-value market in the Blue Ocean. Is there any more? Oh, here's where it gets interdasting. Alliance partners. Jaltech works with key industry leaders to ensure storages are optimised with partner solutions and delivered rapid deployment, high performance, easy management and maximum return on investment. Wow. Notice any common players amid Quisda and Jaltech International Inc. Last side notable, then back the SC Smartmatic article. Looks like Kenmac Mechanical Engineering Company Ltd took big earnings hit in 2016. a spike in 2019 and another huge hit in 2020. Related? Smartmatic, TIM failed to comply with the provisions of its automation contract with Comlec. It misrepresented that it can provide the Comlec with customised system upgrades to and replacement of systems because it was not the owner of the PCOS technology, read the petition. Smartmatic was a mere licensee which needed the assistance of Dominion. Smartmatic, TIM, has asked the Comlec BAC to disqualify its rival Indra Sistemas SA from the bidding for the 2016 presidential polls. On the technical working group recommendation, the Bids and Awards Committee had unanimously declared Indra as eligible during the first stage of the bidding, and Smartmatic was found qualified through 3-2 voting. Smartmatic Philippines. In opinion polls, voters have approved of Smartmatic automated system used by Comlec, with 84% of respondents stating they had big trust in the automated process, according to a June 2019 Pulse Asia research poll. Seriously, polls are made to skew a certain way, any that are on the mainstream news anyway. And they'll tell you the majority of people think one way when they actually don't, because they're trying to push their agenda. So they'll try and make you think most people think like this, so you must too. The Manila Times has stated that Smartmatic's system was unreliable, glitchy and vulnerable to tampering. Junk Smartmatic. After the newspaper reported that Smartmatic had been funneling voter information through unofficial servers, the Manila Times ultimately called on officials from the country's electoral body, Comlec, to resign. William Yu of the Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, NGO, stated servers perform many other activities before the elections, does not automatically mean the data has been transmitted, though he requested that Comlec and Smartmatic provide an explanation. The Manila Times reported Smartmatic machines had SD cards for voter entries, citing Glenn Chong, Congressman of Tanggulang. I can't say that anyway. At least one SD card was tampered with, allegedly showing that Smartmatic's system was very much open to hijacking or sabotage. Chong pointed out that the average of 500 votes per SD card, 5,000 extra SD cards could have procured 2.5 million votes for favoured candidates by switching machines. With 5,000 unnecessary extra SD cards accompanying 5,000 extra VCMs, switching bogus results contained in these extra SD cards with the genuine results under the guise of replacing malfunctioning VCMs is a feat that is all too easy to accomplish. All it requires is for the cheats to feign a malfunction in order to get a replacement machine with an SD card bearing bogus results in it, lawyer Glenn Chong said. SD card fraud is not new for Smartmatic. In 2010, as exposed in the anatomy of the Aquino 2010 election fraud, it is made evident that Simeon Bengino, Aquino, was installed as a fake president. Much of the success of the cheating made to make Aquino look like he won the elections in 2010 was made possible through the CF or SD card of the Smartmatic automation machines. The supply of the CF or SD cards is controlled by one Chinese family, the a clan from Dumaguete City and Manila. One of the members of the clan, Lawrence Pitkin, is a mayor of La Libertad Negros Oriental. Sorry guys, I can't pronounce half of that. And I didn't like saying that word either. I know it's just oh God. I don't like it. He corners much of the construction activities in major areas of that Oriental province and nearby areas through his construction firm. The wife is Jocelyn Lim Kai Chong. Is that how they say it? Lim Kai Chong, congresswoman for one of the districts of their province. Oh my goodness, this really is like a really big tangled web. The Lim Kai Chong family derives multi-millions up to near billions of pesos from the CFSD card. This item is one of the weakest links in the automated electoral process. Fake smile. The following connection set was purely the result of an act of God, so bear with me. The Lim Kai Chong family, SI family, UBSI and SYSU group, SM group, 139 Krebel family, MO13, SD cards, Koch brothers, Koch Industries. Before the May 2013 elections, the radio network Ultrasonic Broadcasting System, INC UBSI, put up DYMD in Dumaguete City. USBI is owned by the SYSU group of companies, a family-owned conglomerate that distributes imported food products in the Philippines. DYMD is closely identified with Jocelyn Josie Sai Lim Kai Chong, a former Oriental, 1st District Representative to the Congress and first Congresswoman in the province's history. DYMD radio host Rex Cornelio Pepino was recently killed in 2020. DYMD is a subsidiary of Ultrasonic Broadcasting System Inc., Philippines, founded and owned by the Sai family in 1991. Ruben Sai Su established SYSU and Co. in 1948, a trading firm importing mostly grocery goods, primarily consisting of food products. SYSU went into nationwide distribution in 1976 and the early 80s. SYSU expanded into food processing and toll packing. Henry Sai, once Philippines' richest person, built a small shoe store in Manila into mall developer SM Prime. The family's SM Investment Corp is now the Philippines' largest retailer with over 200 outlets. His 6 children and grandchildren are all involved in management SM Group. The SM Group, SM Investments Corp, and its subsidiaries are not the only largest company in the Philippines in terms of market cap, but also simultaneously the second largest SM Prime holdings in 2016 as well. A new generation of tycoons debut on 2019 Forbes Philippines Rich List. The Sai siblings made Forbes list in 2019, replacing their father, Henry Sai Sr., at number 1, a position the late Henry held for 11 consecutive years. They have a combined net worth of $17.2 billion US, stemming largely from the family's SM Group, the company's largest conglomerate. The first couple of articles cited the Lim Kai Chong family and did not make note of the Sai family, Sai Lim Kai Chong, due to the Sai family's impact on the SD card industry. The late Henry Sai Sr. and his family share a relationship to the Krebel family, Molex, LLC and Koch brothers. Does that not look like the fakest smile you've ever seen? It's like she's gritting her teeth, nearly. I actually stumbled upon Molex just prior to establishing the connection from its previous ownership, now owned by the Koch brothers, by the Krebel family to the Sai family, and reversed engineered the linkage, which appeared as if by fate. There's a market demand for small volumes of multi-product supply due to card utility in various applications. X include drones, mobile devices, POS terminals, PCs, and the Internet of Things. Molex offers a wide range of memory card products to satisfy our customers' needs. I'm sure they do. Currently, Molex is owned by the Koch brothers, Koch Industries. It really doesn't get more globalist. Koch's $7.2 billion Molex purchase puts founding family in billionaires' circle. The decision to sell was made by brothers Friedrich and John Krebel, its grandsons of the founder, who are both in their 70s. They control about 31% of the common stock, Koch said, which, combined with voting Class B stock, should give them about $2.2 billion of the proceeds. And guess who popped up when I image search the title of the Forbes Molech acquisition article. None other than Henry Sy. Henry Sy also pops up on the key connections section of the Krebel family, number 139 Forbes 2015 America's Richest Families Net Worth list. The SM Group Board of Directors page leaves a lot left to be desired. Its disseminating voice portrays only the broadest description of their investments history. One fact remains well displayed: the China Banking Corporation is a central figure. It is likely the interaction or transaction amid the Krebels, Molechs and the Sys occurred through one of the many companies the late Henry Sy Sr. owned and operated, perhaps the Bell Corporation? Back to Molex.com. After researching Smartmatic for weeks now and establishing what I believe is a viable, the Sy family, and Molex LLC connection, I noticed a striking similarity between the Molex and Dominion logos. Coincidence? Perhaps. Here's another look at the Molex logo. It's time from their social media. Yet another design similarity is the interchangeable red and white motif. Here is the white. Here it is in white. Lastly, here it is in red. Now let's compare the Molex logo to the Dominion logo itself within the profile header and design motive in their expo booth. Same red and white with these things. See this thing? This thing, and it's red and white, and this thing here, and Dominion is the same. Check out Dominion voting logo side by side with the Molex logo. The only reason they're not exactly the same colour and resolution, one is a profile header photo, right, Dominion voting, and the other is a picture of a trade show booth, left. Last glance, Dominion voting and Molex logos side by side. Both logos are digital renderings this time. As per colour theory, red will appear slightly different in accordance with the backing background colour. Molex and thereby the Koch brothers, Koch Industries, stand again a great deal from the fulfilment of Agenda 21, Agenda 2030 and the Green New Deal by way of a Biden election. Their intentions for our future are quite clear. Why would George Soros and the Koch brother team up to promote big tech censorship? Answer: election fraud. They want a transhumanist technocracy that they will do anything to get their way. And that's part of Agenda 21, is turning you into like a android robot. That was a really long one. This one from Stephen Crowder. You're right, atheists. I don't need God to tell me not to kill somebody. But as someone who has struggled with severe depression my whole life, I did need God to tell me not to kill myself and to teach me not to quit. You call it a crutch, I call him Father. And it's funny because I'm a little bit the same. Through my teenage years, I was not a believer in God. And through my 20s and possibly 30s. And I was in a really bad position 20 years ago. And then I started to slowly turn to the Bible and start reading it. And it was mainly in the last 10 years that somehow I've managed to heal myself from being at the depths of the bottom of whatever pit I was in, to where I am now. So honestly, even if it's just the belief in God that helped, that has to be better than wishing you were dead. I mean, there was a point where I actually was asking God to take me. I wanted him to take me. And that was 20 years ago. I could see no hope, and there was no hope. But, you know, time makes all the difference in the world too. If you're in a bad position, it won't always be this way. So I just wanted to let people know that it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not. Like when I was younger, I didn't, but as I got older, turning to the Bible gave me something I couldn't get anywhere else. Hope, maybe? But I don't think it's such a bad thing to believe in, and it helped me out. So that's why I call myself a Christian, but I do not go to church. I read the Bible myself. I don't want anyone else telling me what it says or what they think it means. I would like to interpret it for myself. And that's just how I am. So I just threw that in there. I know some people don't believe in the Bible, and that's fine. You know, we can agree to disagree, but if you're stuck in a bad situation, sometimes that can help you. And you don't even know at the time it's helping you until later, and you look back and realise. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, BP Soccer at BP Soccer. Oh, did I say who that was? Yes, Stephen Crowder. Holy guacamole. They are absolutely desperate. Panic in the swamp. Since getting sick is not putting the fear in you, let's tell every man if he doesn't abide by the draconian mask rule, your pecker may no longer, well, that it at softness. Okay, because this is responding to Alyssa Milano, who says, wear a mask. Erectile dysfunction is a likely consequence of COVID-19. You have to be kidding me. Oh my goodness. And who is this Dr. Eric Ding? He must be a ding-dong. Yep, okay. No, maybe it's just Alyssa Milano who's the ding-dong. Oh dear. From Julian's Rum. What is the precipice and when will we reach it? Well, they describe it as as the moment of destruction. To me, this indicates the population will feel that their very lives are at stake. It sounds like the threat of nuclear war. 2. Remember in October when the board suddenly re-upped the discussion about rogue missiles being fired in an attempt to start a war to oust Trump and cover up their crimes? They may be on the verge of attempting this for a final time, but when? On January 20th, 2020, they posted only one drop. It was a link to Eisenhower's presidential farewell address where he warned of the military-industrial complex's potential threat to our freedom. It's the only time the board has dropped on the 1st of 20. At that time, it seemed kind of random. But given our current situation, I have a feeling the board may have been pointing us to the coming precipice. January 20, 2021, Inauguration Day. And replying to JSH19, which is at ZMapped. Cute. They also never said we return from the precipice. They just said, when we're at it, we'll wake up. Julian's Rum says, no, this is why people need to read all the drops. I'm saying whatever the precipice may be, it will seem dire and appear hopeless. But that's when the sun rises and God shines his light upon the dark peak. And he's in response to Lady Libby, 1776. Yes, so I think you may need to clarify this more because that is a rather large accusation. Are you stating you believe someone is going to nuke the US and that we the people won't return from the precipice, i.e. most of us wouldn't make it? Essentially that the board would sacrifice us, and that's why he said no. This is why people need to read all the drops. I'm saying that whatever the precipice may be, it will seem dire and appear hopeless. And so that's that thread. Okay. I just threw this one in. I'll just try to break it up to talk about different things so that hopefully it's not boring. From N1 Nasty One, at One Nasty. I am. Are you? And it's responding to this. Making God's love famous, Courtney. Are you an empath? Empath hears everything you don't say and sees everything you don't show. Human BS detectors. Often misunderstood. Easily overwhelmed. The square peg. Amazingly gifted and super sensitive. An empath is sensitive to the visible as well as the invisible. An empath reads body language, tone of voice, body movements, the words people choose when they speak, the words they avoid, the logic they use, and the hidden things that only an empath can sense inside another person. An empath is someone with the natural ability to understand the emotional, mental, and physical state of a person or animal, someone who senses the feels and reads the energy around them. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit in the middle of that and had to pause. But I'm one of these people. And I don't know why, but I can tell when people are lying, and it hurts, because you think, why are you lying to me? You know, and also feeling other people's feeling for other people can also hurt when they're really down, really upset. And it also might be the reason why I don't like, because I don't really like huge crowds of people. Although it depends on how that crowd, like when you're all there for the same thing, like Sunday I'm going to a stand-up in Hyde Park. It's people who have the same views, so there won't be that confusion of having, like when I go into a really big shopping centre and there's lots of people, it's packed. It's just a chaotic feeling. It's chaos. I do better in smaller situations, like one-on-ones and like family situation, you know, rather than big crowds of people. But that may change as we all change, and you know, people start waking up. It may change, and it may feel good to be in a crowd of people again. But that's just me, and that's why I like to be by myself a lot, because I do take other people's, I can feel their emotions, and it's really hard to separate yourself from their emotions when you're feeling it. Okay, enough of that. The art of war. We are in the second revolution, patriots. The elite ruling class have removed all stops and deployed all assets. Those politicians and bureaucrats, I had to check that I was recording then. Those politicians and bureaucrats who have made millions off the DC swamp by entrenching themselves in the system are not coming to the aid of our POTUS. They are not joining the patriots in Georgia and Pennsylvania and standing beside Linwood and Sidney Powell in opposition to the globalists attempting to steal this election. It is we the people who are leading this second revolution. Remember that in the first Revolutionary War, only 45% of the colonists fought against the British. Historians have reported that up to a third of the colonists fought for the British Tories, while another 20% stayed out of the war altogether. Patriots, we are the majority, and we will prevail against the deep state. If we stand together unified with our POTUS and our great US military and rely on God while taking action to oppose this coup. We cannot expect swamp-entrenched, lifelong Republican politicians to have our backs. They support those who fill their bank accounts. The attacks being waged against Linwood and Sidney Powell will only increase. Patriots, we are blue-collar workers, lawyers, engineers, doctors, union workers, teachers, homemakers, salespeople, small business owners, service members who make up this movement of American patriots. You can add a disabled person to that. We are comprised of all races and religions, and we are united in our love for this great republic, our constitution, our families, our neighbours, our God and our president. No matter who comes against us, remember we are Americans and God wins. And same for Australia. We can do this, guys. This is from Yig at Yig Star House. Did you guys catch this from earlier today? It's the statements Director of National Intelligence Ratcliffe made this morning about China. US spy chief calls China greatest threat since World War II. Yep, but it's coming through technology rather than a normal war. Okay, from We the Inevitable, and this will probably be the last one, guys, because this video is going to be quite long. A global team of experts has found 10 fatal flaws in the main test for COVID and is demanding it's urgently axed as they should. The 10 deadly sins. Among the fatal flaws that totally invalidate the testing protocol are that the test is non-specific due to erroneous primer design, is enormously variable, cannot discriminate between whole virus and viral fragments, has no positive or negative controls, has no standard operating procedure, does not seem to have been properly peer-reviewed. Oh dear, one wonders whether anything at all was correct in the paper. But wait, it gets worse. As we have noted previously, no threshold for positivity has ever been identified. This is why labs have been running 40 cycles, almost guaranteeing a large number of false positives, up to 97% according to some studies. The cherry on top, though, is that among the authors of the original paper themselves, at least 4 have severe conflicts of interest. 2 of them are members of the editorial board of Eurosurveillance, the sinisterly named journal that published the paper, and at least 3 of them are on the payroll of the first companies to perform the testing. So there you go, guys. That was quite a bit. And I've still got more to go through, but I'll see how I go. Okay, guys, this is an edit because I just wanted to include a couple more quick things. We the Inevitable. It couldn't happen to nicer folks. Black Lives Matter movement is imploding over internal power struggle, money grabs. And from We the Inevitable, Jeebus, Anonymous Patriot says, at a non-patriot Q, says, Colonel Waldron, we have voice recordings of orders being placed for ballots from China. And this one from Denise, at Denise Lizeth, very handy indeed. And this is from Nick Kraken at Canek Q86. This may help your searches. Obama's real name is Barry Soetoro. Ilhan Omar's real name is Ilhan Esmi. Kristen Gillibrand's real name is Tina Rutnick. Bill de Blasio's real name is Warren Wilhelm Jr. Beto O'Rourke is Robert O'Rourke. Bernie Sanders is Bernard Gutman. Kamala Harris is Maya Harrison. Pete Buttigieg is Paul Montgomery. Elizabeth Warren is Liz Herring. Cory Booker was known as Tony Booker. Eric Holder is Eric Himpton. Democrats are so fraudulent and corrupt they don't even use their real names with the American people. Isn't that interesting? Oh, and this one. Remember the dog that died? Or yeah, it's these dog comms again, I think. Okay, from Rep Eric Swalwell. A friend unexpectedly died yesterday. He was young. I searched my email because I remembered he recently sent a kind note. I had a response in my drafts that I never finished. I feel awful. A sad reminder. Life is short. Gmail drafts. Google Safeguard highest level. Access 3. Google server routing non-US based. Sample. Wet work. Human trafficking. Sharing of ICE Border Patrol C intel. Schedules to safeguard. Exit entrance. Sharing of FBI C intel to safeguard private ops. Sharing of DOJ where we stand investigations and guide to overcome, dismiss, win. Transfer of money instructions to left orgs, DOJ settlements, off-book meetings, playdates, stand-down orders, non-action orders, Muslim Brotherhood, cross-coordinated with UK assets, OPRO in CIS UKP, coordinate with foreign actors for payment money disperse, coordinate with aid orgs for illegal plans, ham radio instructions if remote 5, why did ES make public NSA class tools, think X Keystone plus Prism specifically, was such tech kept from elected officials, was such tech kept from elected directors? Why was no such agency created? Think Signet. What advantages exist to big tech? Other ABC on-off agencies, elected officials, CEOs, foreign adversaries, etc. If such information is learnt, what price are you, the public, willing to pay? Did you ever play hide and seek? Text, emails, Gmail, draft, Gmail, ham comms, PS, Xbox chat logs. Bonus round. That's how they communicate, through drafts with themselves. Archive, bread post links. Okay. How might DARPA, aka Google, play a role in the spy campaign against POTUS? Think Gmail. Think Gmail drafts. Think ES resignation. It will all connect eventually. That's why people need to go and read the board. Sorry, it wasn't the dog comms. This was other comms. Oh, yeah, and Obama, Bush and Clinton said they're going to take the COVID-19 vaccine publicly to gain trust. Okay, well, imagine if something goes horribly wrong to one of them. Not that I think they would actually take the vaccine, but if they did, and something happened right in front of everybody, so the whole world could see it. Imagine that. I don't know why, it just popped into my head, and I thought, okay, imagine if these three are the first, and they all die from it. It's just a thought. Who knows? Look, at this point, anything can happen. And we just have to wait and see what actually does happen. Okay, guys, what else have we got? 20 hours ago, breaking Georgia Governor Kemp calls for signature order after new surveillance video uncovered today shows apparent tabulation cover-up. The Secretary of State, per laws and Constitution, would have to order that in the next 24 hours. Hopefully we'll see a lot more. And this from 3 days, 3 nights. Remember Trump said, this is from December the 4th, mind you. Remember Trump said yesterday in his pre-recorded speech that he has never met with or spoken to the newly appointed special counsel on 2016 election fraud, US Attorney John Durham, because it has to go by the book. And by the book as it stands now with their corrupt legislature, it has to go that way. They have to follow the rules until they can get in and do something about it. Tomorrow I'm going into the city for a quiet standing. That's what I'm going to call it. It's police approved though. It's a freedom rally. So, yeah, there you go, guys. It'll be Monday before I'm probably back doing this again. And thank you so much for your patience and for listening. And anything else you do, whether it's liking, sharing, commenting, everything, guys. I really do appreciate all of you. Okay, guys, I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys. Bye.